Welcome everyone on today's Metal3 Community meeting. Today is the 7th of August 2024. My name is Adam Rosman and I will be your host today. We can skip the introductions and continue with the reminders. Please remember that the meeting is recorded, and other reminders are that if you would like to have the project, please follow this Help Wanted link or filter with GitHub on project level for the Help Wanted or the Good First Issue label. And you will find a lot of issues that are still waiting for someone to pick it up. There are a lot of simple ones that are good for those who are just starting with contributions. If you feel that your organization would be willing to publicly acknowledge that you are using Metal3, then please create a pull request and modify the adopters.md file in the community repository, same way as the other organizations have done, and that would help us gauge the adoption level of the project. If you are experiencing failing tests on your pull request, then don't hesitate to create an issue in the affected repository and link that issue to the Metal3 CI tracker project. That would help us track the occurrences of the problem. And of course, it is conditional on the fact that the issue is not related to your changes. So if you suspect that it's not related, then do this that I mentioned. If you are interested about other news around the project, then feel free to read the incubation proposal. We are now on the first ones in the incubation list in the CNCF talk repository. So soon we expect that someone will pick up our due diligence process and start it. And the Kashif has updated the new issue, the new incubation issue. So it's now refreshed. And I think that now has all the information that the CNCF DOC might need. But I will just show it.
Hey, Adam, sorry to interrupt you.
Yep.
You're breaking a lot, at least
Breaking
for me. I don't know the others. Yeah.
Okay, 1 second.
Not sure if it's me or you, actually. Just saying.
How is it for others?
It's the usual, we can hear you, but like, yeah, it breaks.
Yeah, okay, I will try something. Okay, how is it now?
Sounds slightly better.
We'll check something.
Yeah, it's like way better, actually.
Okay, okay, that's good. It's just Linux Bluetooth magic. Okay, so back to what I was doing, and thanks for mentioning the audio quality. So if you are looking for the incubation issue, not the old proposal, then it's in the CNCF DOC, and the number is 1365. And as I mentioned, we are the next one in the queue, and this has been updated. But feel free to check this and mention it on Slack or under here in the comments if you see something that's missing or you think it's not correct. But I think this is very, very self-explanatory now. Okay, then if anyone is interested in the statistics and deliverables, please feel free to check the other links. And same as for the SSF scorecard and the incubation presentation and the roadmap and so on. And I think with that, we can continue with the working group updates. And the first working group is the Ironic scalability. And Dimitri has, I think Dimitri was the one who made this document. But he is not in the meeting.
Yeah, he I think he's busy downstream with something. He wanted to mention that it looks well, it looks good to me, but of course we are looking for, he's looking for reviews also from the extended community, from other members of Metal3. So
Yeah. Today we have discussed it within our team, and this has a high priority to review. So expect multiple reviews from multiple community members. At least that's the plan. So certainly there is interest in this one. Just everyone is a bit busy, but there will be some traffic on this. And it's very good that now Dimitri has made the formal proposal for the standalone operator. Is there any question, comment from anyone related to the standalone operator? Okay, if nothing, then the next working group is the release team. I just put here this one, that there will be a 26.0 release of the Ironic image, but I see, Ricardo, you have some comments.
yeah, thanks for that. And yes, so after reviewing a couple of things, I've decided to postpone the release at least 1 week, because I'd like to get some stuff in, and there may be also a couple of bug fixes that we want to include from Ironic as well. So I need to wait for the backport first to avoid releasing and then regenerate the image, and so it's just going to be 1 week later.
Okay, that sounds fine. Thank you. Is there any questions related to this Ironic image release? Okay, if nothing, then the next one was message from Adil, as he's working on both the CapM3 and the Capi release team, and he's now involved with testing the Capi 1.8 RC and the new Kubernetes version RC. So all these release candidates are now being tested way ahead of the actual releases. So that's good to hear. But I think that's not really something that's the community at the moment has anything to do with. Just know that testing is already ongoing. Is there any question for the release team? Or release related? But if not, then I guess we can continue.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, I was just wondering if the Ironic image is delayed a week, and we are approaching the Capi and the Kubernetes releases, which usually mean we got the release. Are we comfortable bumping the Ironic image to this new version, or shall we just bump it after the releases?
As far as I see, there is no direct connection. We have if it's a question, if when we are releasing the BMO, that if there is a BMO release closing in, should we are we comfortable with the new Ironic image? But
sorry to intervene here, but so when are the releases due? Like BMO and everything else, because maybe it's something that we I need to double check with the Ironic team first, but maybe you'd like also to wait for the next Ironic image.
Yeah, I mean that was basically my question. I think the Kubernetes release is something like 24th of this month.
Okay. So it's
or something like that. So if you release next week, that gives us like maybe a week or two when the 26 could be integrated into BMO main, so we get some testing in. But in general, if it would be closer than that, then that was the question, like, are we comfortable if we just bump it on the last minute and basically get no testing in?
Yeah, like I don't think we're going to postpone it longer, honestly, because it should have happened last week when like right after the bug fix branch was cut, but there were like some delay, and the only reason why we've decided to postpone again is because we really like to see some other fixes coming into the bug fix branch before actually doing the release for the Ironic image. It's just to avoid, rebuilding the image after and re-releasing after we already cut that. That's the main reason. And also we don't want to release something that is potentially broken, or since we know that there's something that could impact some features of Ironic.
Yeah, that's the reason why also we don't want to release the BMO and all the CAPM3 stuff with the new components in without testing. But I think the 2 weeks gives us enough confidence that if it's going to work or not.
All right.
But I was thinking that are we is it mandatory to release a new BMO if there is it's not tied to Capi version or Kubernetes version? I mean, if we run into some problem under the 2 weeks or just under a week, we can hold off the BMO release or not pick this Ironic version or.
Yeah, but are we then comfortable bumping it in CAPM3 in a batch release, or do we just skip the whole BMO release then, which kind of undermines the point of having a BMO or Ironic image release?
Yeah, I don't think that's I don't think they are this closely coupled. I mean, unless for CAPM3 there is no direct connection to the Ironic, so it's really just what's between the BMO and the Ironic. I
know, but CAPM3 is using BMO directly via the Go modules. So
yeah, do we have any requirement that it has to be always minor to minor? I don't think we have any coupling on that level. So even if we bump BMO minor to a CAPM3 patch, it should be fine in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, if it brings along the new Ironic and everything, I'm not sure if the patch release is something you actually want to do that in, because
yeah, but in that sense, you are then again coupling all the minor releases together, and that would be really a problem. So Ironic minor, then BMO minor, then CAPM3 minor, so it will all then depend on each other.
No,
which we don't want, I guess.
No. They are not technically coupled, but then we have the kind of the guarantees that in the patch release we don't then bump it. That's our way, right? We should only put some bug fixes. We are not supposed to bump Ironic and BMO like majors. in the
No,
patch
no.
release.
I mean, BMO minor in a current release branch. I get your point. You have a logic. I'm just thinking that if we just start doing that, it would be really just unnecessary complexity. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
no, I'm probably at this point nobody cares, but this
Exactly.
is
Yeah.
something that we should start caring. That we make this choice that if we include it or not.
Yeah, but then again, as I
Especially
said,
when we go to incubation, we are then supposed to be taken seriously. And then
no, but as I said, we kind of decided long ago that we don't want this dependency, that it has to be always following one
I
minor
know.
to the other.
I know. But it also means there's a cost, which is not pumping them at all until the next minor.
I'll probably then like to vote for changing that. And then at least allow a minor bump in a patch of CapM3, at least in the latest release branches. But yeah, I see your point.
Yeah. All right, but basically this clarified my original question anyway. So we have 2 weeks at least where the new stuff is in before we cut. So it's fine. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Is there any other question? Okay, if not, then just the regular discussion topics. I will be away on PTO next 2 weeks, so someone else will need to do or facilitate the meeting. I will ask around. Yeah, but that's just like a public service announcement. And the next one is from Ricardo related to the UEFI HTTP boot.
Yeah, so thanks for the reviews so far, and well, the vote there. It's just a call for reviews. Like if you have anything, if you want to have like to comment or anything to add or questions, doubts, anything, just yeah, go ahead, hit me.
Yeah, I just added here that in my opinion, if you don't get feedback in a week, I think we can remove the hold and merge it. I don't see this being any sort of problem or blocker for anyone. This is quite straightforward. Basically a new driver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And there's actually one thing related to that. Since this works for UEFI only, I was just like reviewing where we are with the UEFI support, and I see that there is APR open by you, Adam, in December, but I think it was like revamped a month ago or something like that, to enable UEFI boot by default. So just wondering, like what's the plan with that? If you have, if you're planning to keep working on that soon or not?
Yeah, that's something that I started to do, and basically, what I was working on is to separate the Ubuntu and the CentOS configurations, and that's because, like, I mean, in configuration that this XML files for the libvirt, because the firmwares are in a bit differently named in bit of different locations, and it's not the most up-to-date version of this. Locally, I have newer one, but what I had, like here is Dimitri's comment. I sorted that out on my changes, and I booted with UEFI on CentOS, but I got stuck at the point that the machine booted and just nothing happened. And there were no errors. There were no UE, no, you know that there is this UEFI page when you boot
Yes.
a UEFI boot, and then you have that like firmware info. Then nothing, not even that. So it's like weird. And then I took the same image and I directly booted with Word Manager, and it worked.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
I have some problems here.
So I'm telling you that like for well, two reasons. The first one, of course, is the UEFI HTTP boot. The second one is that I'm not sure you know, but in our we have a development environment which is called DevScripts that we use for everything Metal related in OpenShift, and it's heavily based on Metal3 DevEnv. It actually does. It takes a lot of stuff from Metal3 DevEnv, and we actually have the default set as UEFI since a while. So we test primarily UEFI in our CI, and like we're in the last weeks, I was actually working on the DevScripts parts that import the Metal3 Dev components. We are kind of like a bit it's a bit outdated, that part, because the last commit that we're using is like 1 year old. And I realized that there was that there were some issues with UEFI that are partially fixed in our DevScripts code and in our CI configuration, but maybe they could be useful also for Metal3 DevEnv itself. So like I spot one thing here as well that we fixed recently related to the machine type.
Yeah, that was merged here also.
Okay.
Yeah, this has to be rebased. I have an idea. Like I will tomorrow update the latest and rebased version of this, and then we could have a chat and compare your dev scripts with this, because I really got to the point when everything worked as used to, and then the image is also working that I'm using with UEFI. But if I use it in the dev, I just get a black screen. So something is weird. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
I'm not sure if you know this, but there was also UEFI related PR to the event from Dimitri, which just closed as tail. Is that integrated into this budget?
No, or maybe it is. I don't remember. Could be that we started.
Touches the XML files.
Yeah, because of course we work mainly on only on the CentOS, Red Hat, Rocky stuff, and of course we kind of notice if there is something like off with the Metal3 DevEnv part, and so we have a lot of changes in the DevScripts part itself. But yeah, anyway, but like if you have time, it's okay. Otherwise, we can discuss it when you're back. I'm not in a rush. It was just a note.
Yeah, I think I can do it. As I said, like I have the code and stuff. I had some like other issues. Maybe it's just my setup, or I don't know. But yeah, I vaguely remember what you are mentioning, Tomo, but I
dropped the link in the chat.
Okay.
And it's the top one there, anyways.
Okay, so we use auto, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think this is not integrated because I had issue with this, like just pointing it onto UEFI. That's why I was messing around with the specific firmware files, not just like UEFI. But because the libvirt and the KVM and all these are also always changing, I don't know when, like what is the best practice at what points, and Yeah, and I had problems when I was just myself working with libvirt, and I said something to UEFI, and then it behaved weirdly, or it was automatically selecting the secure boot. I don't know. I had problems, so that's why I started to, like, I did the same what the devm does nowadays. That I select firmware, specific firmwares, and that usually helped me. But I don't know if now in the newer libvirt and newer KVM versions or Camu versions, it's supposed to be just UEFI. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, anyways, now it's out there, so you know this stuff better than me. Just making sure that you are aware that this also exists.
Yeah, I am, and also I'm aware what the config does. It's just I don't know what is the best way of doing it, with pointing to the firmware file or just asking the current version of the KVM Camu to decide what it uses as UEFI. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, we will then like discuss this tomorrow with Ricardo. Yeah. Okay. Is there any other questions related to UEFI stuff?
Not a question, but if I remember like correctly, I had to symlink the OVMF file. I had to kind of hack to as a hack to kind of make it work temporarily with Metal3 Dev some time back. If that's helpful, like it was not able to find it at the correct path
Yeah.
for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the bug. Yeah, that's the issue. On CentOS, they have been moved to different places. So that's exactly the root cause. But then
Yeah.
I actually like hard coded them like to the correct path, and then I had this blank screen issue that it booted, but it was blank. So, and I couldn't figure
Okay.
out why.
Yeah, I think it worked for me after making that change, like as an hack. But yeah, maybe you could try out a fresh deployment just to make sure you are not getting any kind of issue which is not reproducible. But yeah.
Yeah. I will get back then to this and ask some help to solve this. But okay, yeah, I think we are all on the same page with this one. Anyone else? If not, then we can do the triaging pretty quickly because I pre-triaged it, and I actually think we have only two that's an actual like question. One is for the Ironic standalone operator, and like the issue report is that the node selector is not working. I'm not familiar with the code base as of now, so I defer this to Dimitri. I can't really say accept or ask for more information because it might be that this code is just buggy. So, but I won't accept this until I hear from Dimitri. And then we had this BMHCRs have no status. That was basically the BMO was deployed manually with the customization, like the customize, but then the Ironic was deployed with the deploy script, and I see in the logs basic authentication problem. So and the BMO can't read the status of the Ironic node. So as far as I can tell from this information, there is a mismatch between the BMO and the Ironic API basic out credentials. So they cannot communicate. So I wrote this down and suggested to deploy both of them with the shell script that would make sure that they use the same credentials, and then let's see how far we get. So that was something I triaged and asked for more info. There is this improve pro cluster management. In principle, I like this. I don't know how much this is a ways of working issue and how much this can be automated. As you explained, Tuomo, syntax check can be done automatically, but you can still break it. So it's like not 100% automatic. But in general, I think let's accept this. I mean, improving anything is on the prowess is a positive idea or goal.
Yeah, this is definitely a problem point. Like since Lennart has been on the long PTO, it's been at least 2 or 3 guys doing this, and each time something goes wrong. Because it's not automated, and you need to mix the live state with the PRs or the head of main, and it goes wrong every time. So we need to do something about it.
Yeah, even though we already have like had training and the people have experience with it and have a lot of documentation, yeah, it's still like hard to do it cleanly.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and the next one was this. I think these were this was the okay, that one I checked, and this one I mentioned, and everything else I accepted, and there was one that I think got removed after my comment, it seems, because I don't see that. Okay, it's fine. Probably it was closed by Robin. And as far as I can see, there are no other active. Yeah, there are no other active untriaged issues. So that's it, basically. We are waiting for feedback on all of them, but let's just check recently updated. Yes, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Let's quickly check the stairs. Usually there are some interesting stuff there. Still, all the stale are in triaging, so that's fine. If there are no communication, they will go away automatically. So that's fine. Okay, so that was the meeting for today. Is there any suggestion, problem, improvement, request, question, anything? Okay, if there's nothing, then thank you for your time and the good discussions. And remember, next 2 weeks I will be away, so I will try to find folks who can do the or facilitate instead of me. Yep, thank you all.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Right.